Chicago, let's light up this podcast. Let's get this podcast
Light it up.
started. It's me, Tyler. How are you guys today? How are you doing, man? We got Fire Engine 97 is his Twitter. If you want to go give him a follow, also follow me on Twitter, Tyler Chicago Fire, or the team that we love and support, the Chicago Fire FC. Always try to put those out there and go look at their Twitters and gain their followings. So, the Fire get a 4-0 win over the Houston Dynamo today. Let's talk about this. How are you feeling today about this?
What was that? What was that? Where was that? Where was that, Tyler? Here's the funny thing. I guess it's no surprise that they're finally clicking. This team at no point looked like the worst team in MLS, despite the record indicating so.
Oh, I agree. I've been saying this for months now. Even in the MLS's back tournament, we started so great. I said this team has the making to be a great team, to be a contender team. I don't know what's been going on in the previous games that we just haven't been able to show this off. And this game, I believe we fully shown what we can do in the MLS. We have the players, we have the depth, we have the subs on the bench. We have what it takes to make a great team.
Yes, the makings of a great team are there, which is funny because arguably last season, more talented squad, maybe more talented top end of the squad. Now, maybe the talent is starting to get a little bit more evenly distributed, those TAM dollars take into effect.
Yeah, so I want to just jump right into it. First half, Barrich opening goal. We get another one from Robert.
I'm gonna have to start eating crow on Barrett soon here. I don't think it's time yet to eat crow, but hey, if he wants to make me eat crow, keep scoring.
Yeah,
I'm prepared.
The entire play itself, I thought it was a perfect setup to Barrich, and then just the Barrich absolute perfect finish.
What the game sense too, his footwork, everything about how he popped out there was quintessential striker, what you need. And if he could get more of those moments out of Barrich, out of Aliseda, out of Bornstein, where I think the cross came from.
Yep.
Out of I gotta say, most of our action think about this now that I'm talking about it. Most of our action seems to be coming down that left flank. Bornstein, Aliseda were opening things up all game, most of the game anyway. That first half especially. I felt Bornstein goes out there and really asks the question of why the hell am I not starting over Navarro? I know Navarro's got talent, but do you see what I do here?
And to add to that, Bornstein was one of our go-to starters and one of our first subs all season last season. For the most part, he didn't have. I feel like he didn't have a bad game last season. I can't put my brain on one specific game where I said Bornstein costed us that game. Now I can't say the same about Calvo this year, but yeah, I can't.
But not as many as Calvo.
Yeah, especially being our captain too. That's a big one.
Calvo had a couple defensive stops today. I said woohoo.
Yeah, he had that beautiful toe poke, and I think it was like the 28th, 29th minute to save Houston from getting a shot off. That was big. We did see, I believe he had two headers on goal. One of them was not on goal. It was far right. But moving on, the 7th minute Aliseda play. If you recall, the Aliseda actually got kind of into a breakaway in the 7th minute, and Aliseda actually caught Herber's flat-footed, I thought. I hope the MLS or Chicago tweets out the video because it was a great opportunity that I thought the Chicago Fire missed to take that 4-0 ending what we had other than VAR. It should have ended 5-0. I'm a little nitpick with stuff like that. I love people always moving. When people get caught flat-footed, I always kind of stray toward just put all of my energy towards that. It's just one of my pet peeves. But even though
Mhm.
I'm nitpicking Herbers right now, I
Right?
owe that man an apology card for everything
Because what? 15 minutes later.
Yeah, I owe that man an apology. I will be buying him a I am sorry card and a thank you card for the entire Chicago Fire fan and support group, Section 8, everybody to be signing it to send to this man because he has been our Lord and Savior all season so far. At least since the MLS Backus tournament has completed, these recent games after that, he's been our Lord and Savior.
And we've talked a lot of crap about him,
Yeah,
and this man has done nothing but put up numbers and produce right now. He's starting and he's producing, and he's showing why he deserves a place on this team. The other thing, that goal that happened in the 23rd minute that we're talking about,
yep,
Jimenez. Today he was Jimenez. Uh, it was an off game for Jimenez most of the game. His mistake kind of created that goal.
yeah,
He had like a weird miss hit, and the ball gets punted forward. He collects it. He somehow he's pressured, but it was a mistake that somehow it turns into a launch follow up. Nacho just comes out of nowhere, collects the ball, turns, sprints right at the goal, and catches the the defense all out of sorts, and then this time not flat-footed.
yes. He puts it in the back of the net. You
Herbers.
you brought up the play from Aliseda to Herbers. I mean, it was a beautiful pass from Nacho. I mean, let's talk about him. What a game he had.
They didn't know when it was coming.
Yeah,
They did not know when that pass was coming.
I feel as if when Houston was going over video last week, earlier this week, over the Chicago Fire for this game, the one player that they underestimated and did not look at was Nacho. Aliseda, I mean, he was phenomenal in the first half. He was everywhere.
Wait. They you think they would ignore Nacho?
They had to have. When they were reviewing video footage, they had to have because he was everywhere. He had the ball at his feet constantly. He was constantly making plays. I mean, he was just phenomenal in the first half.
Hey, I gotta hold on 1 second.
Yep, no
I'm double
problem.
checking the screen. The stream. I'm making sure we're live. Hey, boom! It's reset for me. Boom. All right, just making sure.
Good?
It was showing some.
We're good?
Yep.
Okay.
It was showing. It was
That
showing
would have been
dead
bad.
for me. I got worried.
That would have been bad.
But yeah, if you're telling me they didn't game plan for Aliseda, I'll say this: it probably was hard to game plan for Aliseda. If you're looking at tape at the previous matches to see what he brings to the table, you could see what he wanted to bring to the table, but you didn't see him bringing it. He brought it.
Yeah.
He brought it all tonight. You saw flashes. I thought as the past few games, you saw a couple flashes here where you try and dribble a guy, maybe put a little pace on. But finally today, he's springing. He's springing, flying, dribbling at guys, being dangerous, and and then boom, slips in that pass to Herbers, and we go up 2-0.
I mean, I absolutely love it. I mean, he was all over the field today. Great with the ball at his feet. Great passes. I believe he only had one assist. Um, but can we talk about the free kick from our half of the field, 300 yards down? I'm not great at math. I don't know the exact yardage. 300 yards down to Aliseda, to the Georgie, to the finish that gets called back because of VAR.
Oh my God!
I mean, my
I
heart.
jumped out of my chair. I'm still celebrating that goal.
I tweeted 3 times in less than 15 seconds. My fingers were just fire on the keyboard. I was in awe. I thought,
It didn't matter that goal did not count. I don't think it matters that it's rare that you see a goal that doesn't count actually mean something.
that influences the game and how we play. Yeah.
And I think that goal goes a couple places. I think that you could show that goal and say, hey, you might not have gotten the goal, but this is what you're getting from Georgie. So if you're seeing that on a scouting tape, even though it's not a goal, I'm saying this because earlier today, Aaron Johansson or something from the Union
Okay.
It got sold to RB Salzburg or something like that, right?
Yep.
So he's the 10, and then I tweeted out, do Georgie next. I thought that Dago Camacho, awesome friend of the show, had a
Yep.
really
I
good
follow him on
response.
Twitter.
Yeah, he had a really good response to me to me asking that. And, I'm trying to pull it up. Here it is. There you go, Dago. This is what Dago said about Georgie when I said do Georgie next and get him, to Bundesliga. Just we want Georgie's success here.
Mhm.
And also it's like because Georgie's success is Chicago Fire success, in my opinion. We could follow him, root him
Oh
on,
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that jazz. So Dago Camacho says, but why would anyone in Europe pay for a player that has barely been active in the MLS? In MLS, serious question. Unless he signs for minimal salary like Polster. And earlier today, I thought that was true. Now after the game, you got to keep playing Georgie.
Yeah, I've been I I've been saying this since early 2019 last season. I believe Georgie is the future of this team. If we're looking at future captains, or it would be great if he can move on to a Premier League team. Let's say everybody's dream to play in
I
the
don't know if
Premier League.
he's
But
Almiron good, but
as
that'd be
a
awesome.
as a Chicago Fire fan, I don't want him
Yeah.
to go anywhere. I wish him nothing but success in his career, but I want him
Absolutely.
have all of his success here for us. I think
And
he
I
is
want him to
the
be valued.
future. Yeah. I think he's the future. If we're looking down the line in captains, I think he's the go-to guy.
Tyler, so halftime. Oh man, I'm skipping a bit, but this brings me to it. We're skipping a bit, but we could go back to it. It's fine. But Wiki halftime talk. He's talking about yeah, he was just talking about the movement and what Herbers and people would bring, and I realized, dude, with between Herbers, Nacho Alceda, and Georgie clicking, Barrich up top, Madron, and Jimenez in the midfield. Where does Frankowski fit into this?
That See, you put me
Is
on
he
a spot
is he
there.
is he Sekulic's replacement? Does he replace Sekulic at right back? Because here's the other issue. He's the Polish international. You gotta play him. You gotta find a spot in the field for him. So, but you're not taking Georgie off. You're not taking Nacho off, Nacho Alceda, and you're not taking taking Herbers off when he's playing like this.
See, the thing is with Frankie, he's having such a bad season. And I
Yeah.
want to say it's just he's in a drought. He just needs a little watering on the Frankie seed, and he's going to become the old Frankie that we know and love. I don't want to jump ship on Frankie yet, but you bring up a great question of where does he fit? How does he do in this lineup? I mean, we were talking about subs earlier and the depth of our team. We have the great sub for CJ for Barrich, or Barrich for CJ, whoever starts in the starting 11. I mean, can we get a Frankie for a Herbers sub, maybe whoever we're playing on the wing for the day in the
Well,
game?
going off what you're saying there, now this is what I was actually meant to bring up when I talked about Wiki in his halftime speech. He mentioned that Herbers is acting as a third midfielder coming back. Like he's acting as that third escape valve for Madron and Jimenez to be able to function, allowing Nacho and Georgie to drive forward. Now, that Frankowski could do that.
He could, yes.
Frankowski could do that. Okay, there you go. Okay, after we talk that out, yeah.
If we're talking legs, speed,
Yes,
stamina, I mean that's Frankie.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're also got to talk creativity and the right pass at the right time, which is what Herbers does.
Yes.
I don't know if Frankie makes those right calls quite yet. His passing has been off lately.
Yeah. Now the question is also, do you want to take Herbers out? Can we afford to take him out of the game? He got a lot of playing time this game, but can we take him out?
Formation,
Yeah.
as Wiki talks about when he's that's what I tried to bring up is that he's key to the formation in that he's acting as that third midfielder coming back with Madron and Jimenez to help clog it up. And so, yeah.
You said key to formation, and that got me thinking maybe Herbers is the key to success for this team, which is weird because at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the MLS's back, at the beginning of the MLS's back tournament, everybody, once we saw Herbers starting 11, I mean, at least on Twitter for everybody I follow, it was just like, we were like, what is Wiki doing? He's a brand new coach. Why would he be playing Herbers? And then just out of nowhere comes Lord and Savior Herbers just to save our team.
Knew. Here's what Wiki saw. Wiki saw in Herbers a baller. Dude's a baller. Dude's a baller that could play in any position on the field.
Yeah,
that's what you saw in Herbers, and he's like, all right, well, let's figure that out. Okay, I got a piece that I move these pieces, and Herbers is kind of like that gum that you could use to take two toothpicks and MacGyver something together.
And props to Wiki. I mean, he's been getting I'll speak for myself where I've been giving him a little bit of heat recently because, he's a brand new coach. We have a brand new team. But
they're in last place. Hey,
yeah.
They're in last place. Were this game.
Yeah. 1 point. And Miami's still playing. We could still be last. But
so it's a fair lodge.
Yeah. But it's just like we've been giving him a little heat, even though it's a new team, new coach. Everybody's still building chemistry. But his one goal is to get us to win. That is his goal, and what we pay our coaches to do.
Well, it's also a project, and you got to think of it as a project. And of course, the coach and the GM are always in a battle between win now or win next year.
Yeah.
And he's got to certainly, like you say, win now to produce.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't see a last place team this entire season, like the eye test. We did see it in the standings test, that's what's so weird, and that's what I guess is promising about Wiki. We go up and down on them.
Yeah, I feel like we go up and down as a team completely too. I mean, we started that MLS's back tournament with a win over Seattle, and we were like, we're winning the cup. We got it. We're winning everything. We got this tournament. We're coming. We're winning playoffs. We just beat Seattle, and then we get smoked by San Jose.
Who's also now in last place.
Yeah. It's like we're just riding this roller coaster of whatever the roller coaster Chicago Fire is. And then we come out of the MLS's back tournament and we get our first home game at Soldier Field. And I call it the Soldier Field blessing because we always play and start very well in the first half at Soldier Field. But then last week, we kind of had a little rough instances. But we're just riding that roller coaster, and I'm hoping right now with this game, how we just played, how we finished the game, we're just kind of chugging up, and I hope the tippity top of that before we go back down is the end of playoffs at the Cup.
All right. So we've talked about the first two goals. Let's get to that next one. Alvaro Madron. I can't remember this goal. Alvaro Madron, what happened on this goal?
The Madron was the amazing godlike dribble from half field to finish the ball himself.
God! Oh my God! How did
you forget this one? Put the statue out in front of Soldier Field. Put his statue out there.
Dude, and he's calm, and I'm looking at him, and you're looking at him. You're like, so many Fire players would miss this. And then he shoots it. And it buries it?
Retire the jersey, put the statue out front. I mean, hang a poster of him right over the center of the field. We don't even need the Jumbotron. Just put a picture of Madron.
Well, that was after the Georgie snap?
The Georgie goal was shortly. It was about 2 to 3 minutes after the Madron goal. We've been kind of flip-flopping.
Oh my! Yeah. Because then it was when it rained.
Let me check my notes here.
Force.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I wrote down the Madron was at the 39-minute mark was Madron, and the Georgie goal that got called back by VAR was at the 41-minute mark. You're talking about
and there's Nacho's second assist. That would have been Nacho's second assist you're talking about.
120 seconds of just pure heart, pure emotion. I'm screaming at my TV.
I've never felt that, dude. They made me feel something. Georgia made me feel something on a non-goal. Like, I'm telling you, I still feel that. I don't care if that's not a goal. It doesn't matter. That goal means something. That non-goal. That's the most important non-goal of the Chicago
Yep.
Fire's history,
It
dude.
you were
That is the goal that's the non-goal that changes the season.
you were talking about how goals can affect how the team plays and how the rest of the game plays. And I completely agree with you because that goal right there, even though it got called back, was such a beautiful play and gave our team such hope. And then if you look at the counterpart of that, you could say last week with the Madron Baric PK instance, and then
Yeah,
Madron misses it, just kills it. So I
yeah.
completely agree with you where you say a goal can make or break the game for us.
And in this case, it was a non-goal.
Yep.
And I mean, like, it was the non-goal that really just cracked this whole team open, where it's like unlocked.
Mhm. One thing.
That's when I realized this team was unlocked. And if we could, dude, and I tweeted right at that moment, I said, I don't care, it doesn't matter. This is a team that could actually make the playoffs. This is a team that has 9 games left to make a run. They pull off 5 wins. That's a lot. That's a
15
big
points right
ask.
there. 15
But
points right
that
there.
is a even 4 wins. I think they could make the playoffs. 4 wins, a tie or two,
All we got to
and a
do
few
is
losses.
squeak in the last slot of playoffs. All we got to do is squeak in, and then we can make our run. I
All
actually
you
had
gotta do.
I had somebody tweet at me earlier, and they asked where has this team been, and I said that our team's always been here, but they're just toying with our hearts. They want to
And
put
you're
us in
telling me you
last
can't beat
place.
Nashville?
Yeah, they just want to put us in last place so everybody gets all mad and frustrated, and then they just go on
Yeah.
a win streak and they just take all of our hearts and they just shove it back in our chest and they just make everything great again. I think Wiki's a mastermind at this. I think he wants to bring in new fans. I think he wants to put us
Well,
from last to
I don't know if he's a
first.
mastermind. But I love the plaudits right now.
Yep. So we were talking about VAR's goals being taken back. Let's talk about that figure. I'm gonna butcher his name. Figueroa handball giving Baric.
Figuera,
Yeah,
Figuera.
I'm not great with names. I'm a butcher it.
Dude, I everybody lives and dies on VAR. I just it's baseball to me. It's just like whatever. I can't. I don't even want to feel when I know VAR's decisions being made. It's like I try to become like I try to cut off the feeling. I
Uh-huh.
try to become like like a Jedi and just hold off that emotion. Just be like cut off the emotion. VAR's involved. Doesn't matter.
It's so rough. It's so rough too. I know every football and soccer fan, however you call it, I know everybody at the end of the day lives and dies by VAR. We all hate it and we all love it when it happens to be on our side, but we hate it when it's not on our side. It's a
And
love or
here's the
hate.
thing: most of the time, it's on the right side.
Yeah.
Most of the time, VAR's. That's my thought. That's like VAR's most of the time on the right side. I look at it as a ref. I refed too.
Uh-huh.
If I had VAR, it's so fucking awesome. Excuse me. That's just so awesome. It's just like it now I can make more stronger decisions now, knowing that hey, if the tape says I'm wrong, hey, okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tony Miola actually he had a great point about it that he said on the live stream of the game today. And it was actually about the handball of this PK
Mhm.
that was taken away from Baric, and he actually was just bringing up the point that it's actually for the greater good because it makes the game more fair. And everybody hates it when like in this instance,
That's where yeah,
yeah, Baric didn't get the PK, but it's all fair.
it's
Is
all fair.
You can't dispute a win or a loss when the VAR is actually right, giving everybody a fair chance to win the game.
Guys, 90% of the time, this is total made up stat, but it's absolutely 90% of the time they get the call right.
Yep.
It's that 1 in 10 mess up. And it's that 1 in 10 that breaks your heart because but that's the thing, it's VAR. So take your heart out of it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Take your heart out of it.
And
Realize, hey, VAR needs to get involved here. Okay,
I
you got to
can't
bring in the Terminator.
I can't lie. I was one of those people who tweeted out and I said I just need this ref's name. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to
Now, if you
him.
want to say, now if you want to talk refs, that ref last game,
oh,
horrible.
oh, that was where my first tweet came in when I said I just want to talk to this ref. I need his name. I just want to talk to him.
Legit bad
And
ref.
I
Was
did
legit
retweet it
mistakes.
twice today
And,
because of the VAR.
there's a ref association. They watch the tapes after, and they grade the refs. So
Okay.
these guys get grades and everything. And that guy, I guarantee you, he got a poor grade for that game because that wasn't the only mistake he made. He made several mistakes throughout the course of that game that I'm just like, when I'm watching a game, yes, I'm supporting the Fire, but also part of me is like ref.
Yeah.
like not ref, not like but a part of me just I want fairness.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing about Chicago fans in general. Chicago fans want fairness, and I'll point out this fact. A couple of years ago, I remember it's like opening game of the season, and we played Detroit. Megatron, it's back in the days of Megatron, and he pulls down a touchdown on the last second of the game to basically win the game for Detroit. They go to the football version of VAR. They determine it's not a catch. Every person in Chicago with logic and brain that with fairness, we all knew that was a catch, and we all felt actually really bad for Detroit in
Yeah.
that. We felt we robbed them, and we felt that it was unfair, and we're like, yeah, because that was a touchdown
Yeah.
for Megatron. We all saw a touchdown, and Chicago people like fairness. We're the blue collar city. We want justice and fairness, right?
I feel as if every time we go to VAR, the Chicago Fire media team should just put up the GIF of how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man. Just put it
Spin
up
the
on the
wheel.
screen. Just
put a spin the wheel thing on, or a bozo buckets,
Yeah.
something, or like throw in a dart GIF, something
Uh-huh.
new every time. Because honestly, it'll be a hilarious joke. But that also might feed the fuel of like, oh, it goes against us. No, it doesn't go against us, you people. It's usually right.
I'm gonna
I
put
felt like last game it might have been wrong once.
I'm gonna put this tweet on the screen over here. Let me just drag it, and it said name and more. It's from Logan from Melt. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It says name a more iconic duo. All wait. Hashtag CF97. MLS,
And
VAR, and Chicago Fire FC. And I thought it was just one of the best tweets of the night so far.
That's this season. That's this season for sure.
Yeah. I
Go
Go ahead.
on.
Oh, sorry.
No,
about
I was gonna say I thought of another. You gave me another idea when I said a
Oh,
couple
go ahead.
weeks ago. I saw a tweet of the season, and my nominee was we had Tyrus on the show, and we were talking, and people on Twitter were talking about potential candidates for this Brazilian DP that the Fire might bring in. And then some genius, I have it tweeted. It's one of our followers, one of our fans. I just forget who it was. Just tweeted out like, "I wonder which team he'll sign for." And it was like so accurate because that's how it always feels like the Fire. Oh, this guy's coming.
Well,
Oh, he's going there.
we were talking.
This guy's he's going to Porto. Oh, this guy's coming out. Oh, he's going to Kansas City.
One of the biggest talks for transfers and players of this year obviously was the Messi talk, and people were doing the math of the buyout of his contract and how much he'd have to pay him, and it actually would turn out to be more than what we paid. Or I can't think of the name right now. I'm having a brain fart of the owner of the Chicago Fire. I can't believe I can't remember this right now.
Dude, if I could leverage that, I would leverage the Chicago Fire, pay the release clause for Messi to sign him, bring him over to the Fire.
Give him 75%
then-
ownership.
And then literally you think so like yeah you're leveraging the level of the Fire, what, 250 to 400 million. As soon as Messi gets here, we go to 1 billion.
Right?
Because that's how math works.
I can't believe I couldn't
Messi.
remember his name. Mansueto.
Mansueto.
Yeah,
Joe
Mansueto.
Mansueto,
I
yeah.
told you, terrible with names. He may be worth more than you paid for the entire team, but I promise you Messi would have made all of that money back.
And Messi, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They would need a bigger stadium than Soldier Field. How big's Camp Nou? How big is Camp Nou? Let's see. Camp Nou seats 99,000.
And if I'm not mistaken, Soldier Field sits around 66,000.
It maxes out about 66,000, correct?
That's what I thought, yeah.
65,000. It will not host a Super Bowl because of that reason.
Yeah, we
Got to
just
be like,
add some stands. Add some stands. Just keep going up like a skyscraper.
got to
Just
be
keep going
bigger.
up with full of stands. Yeah. I
Soldier Field's been good to the Fire this
Yeah,
season.
I said I don't know if I was the first to tweet it, but I tweet it every time we're at home. I say the Soldier Field blessing. I think there is some weird voodoo stuff going on. Some guys in a closet with the Soldier Field and the Chicago Fire dolls and just
Well,
giving us a
the
blessing.
history. I've talked with a couple of Fire players, and they say there is a stark difference between Bridgeview and playing in Bridgeview and playing at Soldier Field. Like, Bridgeview's nice.
Yeah,
It is really, really nice, and it's awesome for what it is. But they say there's nothing like being in that tunnel, about to walk out onto Soldier Field,
yep.
a lake right there, wind. The team next to you is
Starting to get a little
if it's a good
cold.
team, the team next to you getting a little cold. They could be looking at you shitting their pants. This is from
Uh-huh.
teams past, back when the Fire were good. So they'd be looking at they'd be looking at Lubos Kubik in there. They'd be like, holy fucking shit! How do I deal with Barcelona?
Yeah,
It's just
I completely agree with you. I think even just being downtown, just being downtown Chicago, you had Bridgeview that was a little off. It wasn't downtown, still represented by the city of Chicago, but it just everything just being in the glory that is Soldier Field. It just helps the
by the
team
way,
vibes.
Lubos never played for Barcelona. Who am I thinking that played for Barcelona? Lubos played for Slavia Prague, FK Norvis, FC
I'm seeing here
Nuremberg.
that Madron was the man of the match for the Heineken man of the match for the Chicago
Madron
Fire.
certainly wasn't Jimenez. Madron was making stuff happen. Madron was
I
facilitating, making stuff. Now Jimenez wasn't fall off a cliff bad. No, by no means. But he was mistake prone today.
So I actually was in a discussion my previous video about who should be our captain because I like Calvo as our captain because of the what media puts out, the Chicago Fire media content team, which let me give them props. They do a great job with the content they push out for the Chicago Fire. Great videos, great photos. But everything they show for him, he looks like he hypes the team up and does great. The Barrich versus Madron issue, I feel like he could have handled it a little better, but I feel like he did his job as the captain and got Barrich to back off and just said, Madron, you could take it. It was a foul on you. You could take it. Even though Barrich is the PK designated taker that we found out today. We did find that out today. I believe Miola actually did say that on stream that Barrich is actually the designated PK taker. So that issue between Barrich and Madron, actually, it should have went to Barrich. But back to my little tangent, my little ramble. I was thinking Madron Jimenez as our captain, unless we can find a more senior person. In my opinion, you got Madron,
Mhm.
who's kind of played all over the world. He's got the talent. Jimenez, but Madron is a little younger. Jimenez has kind of got the age.
I'm not seeing it in their personalities.
That's a big one too. That's a
From
big
what
thing too.
little I've seen in their
Yeah,
personalities.
that's a big thing too.
Now, Calvo's personality is one of a chip on your shoulder leader. He's not the greatest type of leader you want, but there's no one strong enough in that dressing room to tell Calvo.
That's a
There's
good point.
very few strong enough to tell Calvo no. I would imagine.
That's a great point.
I would just Calvo's just got probably one of the stronger voices. He's just got an anger, a physicality about him, and also, I mean, positioning wise, Calvo's really good. Usually, positioning wise, Calvo's on top of his positioning. It's his defending, it's his decision making when it comes to defending that's in question. His actual positioning on defense and when on offense. So I'm saying going backwards and going forward. Calvo's in position, in the correct position more times than not. But it's his decision making and sometimes his ability to tackle that lets him down.
Wait,
We didn't see that today.
you bring that up a good point about his Calvo's tackling because we know in going into this game he did have the yellow card accumulation. He could not get a yellow card today without getting a game suspension for the next game, which he did not get a yellow card, so that is great. Um, But
But the
back.
other thing is, like you saying, what I'm saying about as far as captain types,
Mhm.
he's the type of captain that could lose his head.
Yes.
Where Dax McCarty, if he lost his head, oh God,
You knew
you
something
don't
was
fear.
wrong. Very wrong.
You knew something was wrong with the team
Uh huh.
when he lost his head. You don't necessarily know that's the case when Calvo's mad. That there's something
Exactly.
wrong with the team when Calvo's mad. So there's two differences
I
between
could
those
be
two types of
wrong, but I
captains.
thought when we acquired Calvo from Minnesota that he did have a bad reputation.
Dude,
For
the issue was he did not want to play center back
yeah.
in Minnesota. They were playing him as center back. He's like, no, I'm a left back. And the coach Heath was like, no, you're not. And he's like, all right, I'm out of here. And then he comes down to Chicago, and Pono's like, yeah, you're a good center back, yeah.
um.
And he's like, and then he here's what happened. The first few games, he was not happy. He was like, no, I'm left back. And then eventually he figured out, oh, Bornstein's much better left back. I if I'm gonna play, I've got to play center back.
So
And he's left-footed.
we're also speaking about captains and voices who has a strong voice, who may not be a strong voice. Can we talk about the possible language barrier? I have very little. I've seen very little of
That's a
Madron
great
speaking,
point.
Jimenez speaking. Is there a
Calvo could
language
speak to
barrier?
both.
Yeah,
That's
is
a great point because Calvo could speak Spanish.
uh-huh.
Calvo could speak both languages probably very easily. Uh, I do wonder why. I guess Bornstein, maybe he's too old to be captain. Maybe he's just not a strong enough voice as far because, dude, when you're captain, it's your Frank Lampard. It's not your Ashley Cole, right? It's your Frank Lampard. It's not your Ashley Cole that's captain. And it's like, yeah, you got a good left back,
Yeah.
but Frank Lampard's the captain. And so where's our Frank Lampard? Is that Calvo? I don't think so. Is it Georgie? I don't think so.
That's you got to get the
Georgie does
perfect
not
mixture of
Georgie does
age
not
and
have the respect of his teammates of his full squad of teammates as a leader. Does not
a-
have that respect yet.
Georgie's a
He's
young guy.
gaining
He's
respect.
still very
He's
young. He's still considered like a
exactly.
rookie to the league. So it's hard to give Georgie a man like that that's still seen
So it's
as like a
not
rookie.
Georgie.
Yeah.
Even Pineda might actually enter the team at a higher captain level status than Georgie right
Hmm.
now. Pineda looks more captain like in some materials than Georgie because I do know Georgie pouts.
So
Um,
I brought up the point of like seniority level, I guess, in the team because
mhm.
when you look for a captain, you look for a guy who's he's still aged in the game, but he's not a rookie. You kind of want that great medium. But with this entire team being basically brand new together, it's kind of hard to find that one person, you know, that has that seniority, has been with the team a while, teamed with these guys for a while, that could fill the chemistry between the new guys and the old guys that have been
Tyler,
here.
I wonder if Herbers is ascending.
Oh,
I
Herber's
feel like
captain?
Herbers. I feel like Herbers. I'm just saying this from what I know from Herbers. Herbers was Fabian Herbers. He's German, but he went to college in the United States, I believe. Um, yeah, German soccer player.
He's got to
Yes,
have the respect of the
but he
other
went to
fire players.
college. Yeah, he went to college here, Creighton. He went to Creighton, and he was good at Creighton, and he was decent at Philadelphia. He was talented at Philadelphia. Dude, we might have a decent player here in Fabian Hurst. 27. He's literally entering his prime. Now if this guy puts up numbers and can I don't know if this is captain material though. I don't know. He here's the thing, if Calvo's gone, right?
Yep.
Who's who is the heir ascending? I don't know who's the skipper. I don't know who the second in command is. I don't know who the second
Yeah, that
captain is.
it's one of the things that I mentioned is just like our team is basically brand new together. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to say who you could put in that captain role and that could actually fill those shoes of our Dex McCarty's and Calvo. It's just
Is Barrich could Barrich ascend to captaincy if he
could
starts
he?
potting goals? See, if you're producing, you could definitely do it.
Now
I
it brings
wonder.
me back to the
Oh,
Barrage Madron thing.
Tyler. I'm gonna say it here first. You guys are gonna all hear it here first. Slow Days, thanks for joining us here on the chat, by the way. Slow Days, awesome friend of the podcast. Uh, the Chicago Fire are going to re-sign Calvo because by not re-signing Calvo, he represents some sort of value lost for free
Hmm.
that you could trade in the league. He's got in-league value for MLS. But I realized it just now, and my heart grew sad because I don't want Calvo to be the starting left center back. I don't want Calvo to be the captain of the squad. I don't want Calvo. I don't know if I want Calvo to be on this squad, but Calvo could bring something to this team. Calvo brings something to this team beyond what we all think. That's for certain. Dude's captain for a reason. Dude's starting left center back for a reason because there's no one better. But all the same, there's value in Calvo that we all have yet to maybe want. Tyra says that Barish is
I
really
was just
emotional,
about
and
to read that.
wow. Okay, so that would
I,
probably knock Borish
that
off.
I would
Barish
say
off.
that's a strong possibility. I mean, the Barrage versus Madron thing, you kind of see you saw Barrage getting emotional. Everybody could see that, and
Yeah.
that is a strong possibility and a great ad. Thank you.
Wow, yeah, you can't have that in your captain. You need
Yeah,
the Dax who Dax on the exterior. Everything he's showing to the enemy is I am nothing but steel.
yeah.
I am
And
nothing but steel.
it's just
And then in private, he brings everything in private. He's like, all right, guys.
it's one of those things. You brought up signings and that they're gonna re-sign Calvo.
I
Do
think they're
we
gonna resign Calvo.
re-sign Kenny Cronholm? Do we re-sign him?
No, no, that is not lost value.
I believe I I wish nothing but the best in everybody's careers, but
Yes.
that man needs to work in an office building. I think he is a 9 to 5 worker. But
Yep.
Bobby Shuttleworth? Yes. Sign him. Again.
He's been Bobby's a career backup for a reason. But
He's a great backup too.
Is because what if this is Bobby's time where he morphs into Robles?
Right? What if he just needed a little more experience on the field?
Just says no.
Yeah, it's just you can't hate Bobby because even though we have lost with him in goal, he doesn't show the amount of mistakes that Cronholm has showed us consistently.
And also in that limited time that we saw in Sparrow, it was very limited, but oh man, that was not good. That was a rowboat when you needed. Not even a rowboat. That's a log raft when you needed a rowboat.
Yeah. Bobby is Slow Days says Bobby is a backup, need a good keeper. I completely agree. I think we re-sign Bobby, we keep him as our number 2 if we find a very strong keeper.
Bobby's one of the best number 2s in the league.
If we can find a strong number 1. Now if we in this offseason or even at the end of this season we don't sign a new keeper, we need to make him our number 1. I'm just going to say that. You think?
I don't think
you don't think so?
I'm with Slow Days on this, that Bobby's a backup, and we got to find someone to get in front of him. However, if next season we're talking about Bobby and him and whoever they brought in to try and upstart him, and Bobby takes it from him, then it's Bobby's to go, I would say, from there for maybe a year.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I say Bobby number 1 if we don't make any changes at all with our current keeper depth. I believe that just because he has done us well so far in these few games that he has filled in because of the Cronholm injury. I believe he tore his ACL, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but he can go. All respect to him, like you said, as far as career-wise.
Isn't Bobby a registered nurse? He's an RN too?
Bobby's the registered nurse, I thought.
He's just a superhero.
Bobby is a superhero.
He's an RN by day and keeper by night in the MLS. He's just a superhero.
Dude. Oh my god, I can't.
What about Evan Bush sitting on the bench?
How much is this guy?
I've never seen
I want to
Evan
know what,
play.
dude. I hope we don't find out that Bobby Shuttleworth is making 44K.
If I'm
That's
not
gonna be
mistaken, I've looked up his salary before, and I don't think it is a very big salary. I
how much
actually
is League Minimum?
I think I've looked it up before when they said he was a registered nurse because I think he was the first registered nurse to ever
Okay, I
start
can't say
on an
that.
MLS team. And I said he actually might be able to make more per year as a registered nurse than the MLS goalkeeper.
It-
Goalkeeper.
it's possible. League minimum is now $70,250. The
Sparrow
league
is the
minimum.
RN. Okay, okay. Man, I was wrong
Sparrow's
then.
the RN.
Gotcha.
What
What
about
about
Evan Bush? He's backup. Mm-mm. Evan Bush. That's kind of the same as Bobby Shuttleworth. Maybe a little bit better than Bobby. Like as far as long term.
now? Say I hope it doesn't happen. Say we lose a couple games and playoff reach is now out of reach. Is we can't get to the playoffs no matter what. Statistically, we can't get there. Do we put in that kid keeper we signed earlier this year?
Slonina?
Do we put him in? Give him a couple reps?
I absolutely want to. I
We've
want
been
them to put out the kid.
we've
They
been
have two
putting
kids.
we've been putting out Gutierrez. We've saw him a few times now. Do we put out the
Put out
kid?
the kid.
Yeah,
But no, time out. Take that all back, Tyler. Right now we're pushing for the playoffs,
we are. We are.
and if we're
We it
pushing for the
is
playoffs, you're not playing Slonina.
it
Sorry,
is
kid.
still in reach and we can still make it.
Yeah, and once playoffs are out of the reach, like say 5 games out, and the Fire somehow tanked it, yeah, then you could. And the plug has been pulled, then you could certainly go to that. But we're not pulling the plug right now. Maybe other teams are pulling the plug. This team, what we saw tonight, is not a team you pull the plug on. This is the team you double down on. This is a team that, hey, by the way, everybody in the betting world, put money on the Chicago Fire to, I don't know, but put money on them to. They're gonna make the playoffs. What we saw tonight. They're gonna make the playoffs.
We saw tonight the potential for this team that we thought was going to happen when we signed all of these players in the offseason.
Tyler, we never saw this under
I
Paunovic.
never, yeah, under Paunovic, never. I was 100% on the Pauno out train. I was get him out. And when I saw the notifications from earlier in the season and the 2019 offseason for Madron and Barrich and Jimenez and Pineda, I was like, we're winning. We're winning it all. And then we start out last place. And now we finally got the win and we showed what we could actually play and how we could play and how good of a team we are.
So yeah, in a way, we went like this. We trended all down. Finally found our level, and the Fire are gonna be going like this. I think the rest of the season. There's only 9 games left, but they're gonna be going like
Yep.
their trajectories like this, which is just enough of a trajectory to maybe intersect and make the ninth or the 10th spot for the playoffs.
So let's talk about some upcoming
By
games.
the way, Bobby makes 190K.
Bobby makes 190K. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. He does make more as an MLS keeper than he would as an RN.
Right.
As an RN would make.
Right.
Uh,
And some doctors.
yeah.
Not much.
Let's talk about some
They also got.
upcoming games.
Go on.
Chicago, Atlanta. What are you thinking about that?
Ooh, let me take a look at the schedule real quick while you. Atlanta. I actually was talking about them the other day. They're struggling.
what?
They're not doing
Let me
too
ask you
well,
this.
but
Just
they're a team just like us. I think. I think they're a team that's kind of like a sleeping dragon type of a tiger team, where they've got lots of talent in certain places, and right now, for whatever reason, they're not putting it all together.
from just
Also missing Joseph Martinez. So
out of left field. What is score line? What do you think the score is of that game?
that's at home. It's gonna be 2-0 Chicago Fire.
2-0 Chicago Fire. We get the Soldier Field
No,
blessing.
wait, no. Wait, let me. I want to take a look at the trends. I want to see what Atlanta United's done lately. Okay, it's not gonna be. I said 2-0.
Yes.
It will not be 2-0.
No?
No, but wait for it. Hold on. Let me. It'll be 2-1.
Okay. I would
We
say
2-1 or
Atlanta.
3-1.
Atlanta's most recent loss is to Miami. Speaking of
And
Miami,
Miami's we lost to Miami too.
speaking
Yeah.
of Miami, I know we support the Fire here, but I just wanted to talk about the Miami signings. Two signings in
Which ones?
particular. Um, the signings for let me Google the
Blaise
translation.
Matuidi?
How how I properly say his name. How you
Oh my god.
properly say his name. But Tweety is definitely the first one that
Papito?
yeah. Uh,
Papito?
the first one I was gonna say, but I'm still gonna butcher it. It may just be better if you say. I'm gonna butcher it.
Wait, which one? So
uh,
Gonzalo?
yeah, Gonzalo Higuain. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, Iguain.
Yeah,
Iguain. It's like, yeah, it's Iguain.
two big,
Papito.
two huge names in the soccer world. Two
And Blaise
huge.
Matuidi?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got a
Blaise is
World Cup winner. Just left Ronaldo. I mean, you talked to him a few months ago, and he's playing alongside the GOAT of soccer, arguably.
Wow.
I mean,
Goes from Ronaldo to Inter.
it's a little step down for him. I bet he got compensated very well by Beckham. But
Mm-hmm.
when will we see a signing like that for the Fire? Do you think it's this year, next year, or 5 years down the line, even?
Dude, Blaise Matuidi coming over has more in the tank than Schweinsteiger
True.
did when he came over.
Manswe-
That's the thing about Schweinsteiger. We just didn't have a lot left.
Mansueto said that he was interested in investing in this team to make us better. Paying what he had to pay.
There's that Brazilian DP.
Yeah.
There's that Brazilian.
Is
DP.
that is his name Nemanja? I think.
Nemanja Mitrovic?
Yeah.
Are you talking about with
I believe
what Mario
so.
was saying?
Yes, I believe
He
so.
tweeted out that they were looking at Nemanja Mitrovic, who's a defender.
Because
My question,
I initially saw the word Nemanja and I said, "We're getting Nikolic back."
dude. Here's what you do. You go get Gabriel Barbosa, and you just make him the Chicago Fire Joseph Martinez.
You think?
Go get Gabigol. That's his name, Gabigol, Gabriel Barbosa. And you make him. Sorry, Barrich. We got Gabigol. It's over.
Heights doesn't seem like the kind of guy who is going to sign big names. Okay.
We're talking about the guy who signed Salah.
Did he? I don't know his previous.
Dude, the dude's the guy who found Salah. Heights has found some amazing players. Tyrus though was bringing up some great points. It's like it's him understanding the league. It's him. How big of a risk are we taking? Is he trusting his contacts in Europe? Is he trusting his awesome Chicago Fire scout, who's in South America? Chicago Fire got this awesome scout in South America. So it's about striking that balance between. Mo wasn't a big name when he signed them. Mo.
Are you talking Mo Salah?
Mo Salah. Yeah, Mo Salah was not a big name, but Mo Salah is now one of the biggest.
He goes
names
after
in the world.
young, promising guys.
He goes after young, promising guys. That's what Tyrus was saying, and that's what Slodes is saying as well. But you also have Joe Mansueto, who's in the play. Now, the GM not only has to make decisions to please his manager, but he also has to make decisions to please his owner.
The man who puts his name on the check.
And the man who puts his name on the check might want to be able to show off to his highfalutin buddies that, hey, I got Messi. Hey, not Messi, but he's got somebody on this team that, this guy. Nobody really knows most of the players on this team right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing.
Outside of MLS.
So, I keep going back. I apologize for that. But we were talking about before COVID happened, and Mansueto wanted to sell out Soldier Field for the very first game back at Soldier Field. How do we do that without the big name? You,
not going to happen.
yeah, you
It
mentioned
wasn't
that
going
we
to
don't have the
happen.
big name. We just don't have. When I personally went to the game where Rooney was playing at Bridgeview, I went to it and I thought the attendance was skyrocketed.
Absolutely.
It's just that name.
The Ibrahimovic game too. Same
I,
thing.
I, I went to
Now,
that, and I even flew out to DC last year to watch the DC versus LA game at DC because it was supposed to be the last time Rooney and Ibrahimovic were ever going to step on a field together. But sadly, Rooney did not play that game. But back to what we were saying. I flew all the way out to DC just to see those two players go at it, and they're just two players that make up 22 on the field.
so what we want to know is whether or not Joe Mansueto is like Art Blank. Arthur Blank will take. He goes to his Falcons field, his new Falcons beautiful stadium that he's able to show off to all of his highfalutin buddies, and be like, "Look at this fucking sweet stadium." And then he goes to his sweet Falcons team. See that guy? Oh, Matt Ryan. Oh, that's right. And then he goes to his Atlanta team. You see these guys? Yeah, we just sold the guy to the Premier League. That's right. So that is what I want out of Joe Mansueto. I want Joe Mansueto to bring his highfalutin buddies to the Chicago Fire game and be like, "See that guy in the field?" And they look down there like, "Dad, no way. Is that Ronaldo?" And he's like, "You damn right, it's Ronaldo. This is
Mansueto,
freaking
I'll
Chicago."
pay for him. Put it on my
And
tab. Put me.
Ronaldo and Messi are not coming here. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up, but I want that type of. I want Joe to have that fire, that desire to have Wayne Rooney out there for a year, to
Uh-huh.
have Zlatan out there for a year. Um, Chicharito is a guy you could pass on, but you would bring in money. He would definitely bring in money, but
The little
Zlatan is a guy that
the Chicharito parade that the LA Galaxy did was insane for him. To hype up that
it
name.
was it was, but dude's not a dominator.
Nope.
Dude's not a
We
dominator
haven't
like a
seen what Ibrahimovic and Rooney did to the league out in Chicharito yet.
no.
There's still
You
time,
won't,
but
and you won't ever see it. You'll see him score a few goals and he'll go away, and it'll be great. We had Chicharito, awesome. But dude is not a dominator like Zlatan or Wayne Rooney.
how to
Uh,
correlate and segue into my next point. We brought up Rooney. We were talking about Rooney. You remember Rooney's half field goal? Chip over
Oh my
the
God.
goalie? Let's talk about
Which one?
Aliceda's attempt.
Which one? Are we talking one for Man United, or are we
Yeah.
talking one for
The DC one, the most. And let's talk about Aliceda's try earlier today. Personally, I love it. I love the try from half
Oh,
field
did he
over
go-
the goalie.
I missed it. I did not see it.
It did not go in. It could have been closer, I won't lie. But I love
Mhm.
the attempt. It looked like for the very first time in all of the 2020 season and all of the mess that 2020 has been for the entire country, it looked like they were having fun out there for the very first time.
They were having fun. They knew what they were doing. They had an idea of where everybody was going to be. That first goal, Tyler, illustrated that.
Uh-huh.
They finally knew where people were going to be. We're starting
And
to see those flashes. 13 games in.
when you take a team and you get a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then you get a second goal at the 15th minute of the game, and then you get a third goal at the 21 minute. I can't.
It was 15th minute. 15th minute was first goal.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yep. 15th, the 21st, and then the 25th
have
minute. We got the
23rd.
PK that got taken back. But
I have a 23rd according to the Google stats, whatever.
okay. I was just writing them down in my notes as I was watching the
But
game,
yeah,
so I could be a
you're
couple
pretty
minutes
close.
off. Yeah. So you got these bam, bam, bam plays of just things happening for the Fire, and it just
Yeah.
gets their hopes up, gets their spirits up. It just helps the team vibe, the team chemistry. Every team is going to thrive off that, especially a team like the Chicago Fire, who just thrive off moments like that and could snowball a game into something
And
big.
the other thing, and you're bringing great points up here. The other thing is like the possession stats are 54% to 46%. 54% to 46%. They didn't dominate possession, but they dominated that game.
It
And
felt
they
like
dominated shots on target. 16 shots, 9 shots on target. And the one last thing, how many chances? They made legit chances happen. I never seen chances under Pano. Pano doesn't know how to make chances, unless maybe he does
you're
now in
talking
PBR.
chances. We got 16 total shots and 9 were on target, so we're talking above 50%. Every second shot will be on target.
That
It's
was
just insane.
insane the amount of chances. The first 2 shots were right at the goalie. The first 2, you in the first 5 minutes is what you're talking about. Is we almost scored a goal.
I think the Barrage got a header, correct?
Yes,
and it was right at the goalie.
That was it.
That's what I was.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
There it was. And there was a couple almost chances, and then another ball popped out to, I think it was Madron, who took a big crack at the ball.
Yeah, from just outside the box. Yeah.
But still, I called a half chance because it was about 25, 30 yards out. I'd call that a half chance because you could score there, but
you gotta put a decent strike on the ball and put it pretty well.
You need to put a Georgie-like curl on that ball.
Yeah, you were talking about the possession. It was 54 to 46%. It's great that we had the majority of the possession. And I would have, if somebody would have asked me what the possession stats were at the end of that game, I would have said maybe like 66% for the Fire. It felt like they never, it felt like they never didn't have the ball in the first half.
That's good. That when they didn't have the ball, they actually defended well today.
So exactly, you bring up that great point. We had a total of 1 save on these stats tweeted out by the Fire. 1.
When they didn't have the ball, they actually defended well today. There was one moment of consternation. I remember I was like, oh! I think it was early in the first half, maybe the second. I don't remember. I forget when it was, but
maybe was that the toe poke from Calvo? Is that the toe poke?
It was not the toe poke. That was awesome. And it was Calvo and Bornstein, and there was just like throw-ins and stuff going on. And they just had maybe 1 or 2 misses, but they figured it out. No goal.
Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking and hyping up the offense, and I feel like the Chicago Fire fans have been the biggest critics about our defense, and we've been very vocal about how
we have need a clean sheet.
How vocal we have been about the lackluster defense that has been performing on the field in recent games. We finally got a game where we played everything well, and most importantly, we defended the ball well. We took a lead, we kept the foot on the pedal, and we defended the lead. We didn't get, like we saw a couple games ago, we didn't get a 2-0 lead and then throw it away for a tie.
Tyler, Atlanta is currently struggling. Loss, tie, loss, win. That's how far it goes back.
Let's take
Their last win was a month ago, 8-22 against Nashville. Who then they lost to last week or 2 weeks ago. They lost to Nashville 4-2.
I was gonna say, I feel like it is a good point that they did lose to them a couple weeks ago, but it is also a good point to bring up that 3 of those losses is to Miami, and Miami, even though
2 losses and a tie,
even though standing wise they're below Chicago, technically now with our win today, I feel like Miami actually has been a solid team for the most part, with being a brand new team to the league, and then now they have Higuain and Matuidi on the team.
They're just finding their stride.
I feel like it is just now, after they got both of those players on the field. I mean, we were talking about captains and veteran leadership. There you go, right there. You got 2 solid captains to choose from.
Yeah.
And then their owner is David Beckham.
Oh no, Higuain is not. I don't know if Higuain's captain material.
It's just he has the experience of the top level. That
Higuain likes to eat. So many jokes about Higuain. But he's gonna be a beast here.
That's like my biggest thing for captain is just like the experience of what they bring to the table.
Gonzalo Higuain, 6'1", 32. See, he's 6'1", but he looks like he's 6 foot bigger.
I mean, you look at his recent teams played, and it's Juventus, Chelsea, Milan, Real Madrid. It's just like the man's up there. He's at the top of the world. Now,
yeah, he only played a little bit, but still.
You look at the Chicago Fire, and you got Madron, who played Real Madrid for a couple games. It's just when we talk about captains and who's next in line for that captain spot, it's hard to say because we don't have somebody like Higuain or Matuidi.
We need like a Tottenham show, like that all in Tottenham show that they're doing with Jose Mourinho and everybody.
Gotcha.
They're doing it's very interesting.
I haven't
Uh,
watched it yet, but it sounds
if,
interesting.
it's interesting if you're a Tottenham fan. I'm not really a Tottenham fan. I'm
I
leaning
do
off.
I do not mind a good Harry Kane goal. I will not lie.
I like Harry
I
Kane.
do
I
not
also
mind a
like
good
Jose
Harry.
Mourinho.
His son too. He's on Tottenham if I am not mistaken.
Dude, they got
I
Bale
love
now.
Son. Yes, I saw that sign.
Gareth
Yes,
Bale.
I saw that. I was
Uh,
debating to bring that up when we were talking about signings.
unquestionably awesome for the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So excited.
Uh,
So excited to get to see Bale finally play.
is Son?
Back
I
in
think
EPL.
Son's on a wing. Is he? Is he not?
Son typically plays left wing, I thought.
That's what I thought. And then you put
He's
Garrett Bale.
he's like a left. Yeah, so there'll be like a spearhead of a front three.
You got Harry
Typically Son
Kane,
like at a left
Son,
field.
and Bale.
Kane is your center, and Bale is your right forward.
Ooh.
There's not many better front threes than that in EPL.
That's a
You got
scary team.
Mane, Salah, and Firmino.
Yeah, yeah. Roberto,
Kane. What's Martial, Rashford,
Anthony, Marcus,
Greenwood?
and well, they had Pogba.
No, I'm talking front three though. I'm just talking.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought we were
Like your
talking about
front three
trios.
forwards of the best. Some of the best teams seem to be playing like a 4-3-3 style.
Mm-hmm.
So they got like their two wingers and their stud striker.
And I won't lie, I feel like the Fire have a good offense. I feel like from top to bottom, speaking forward to midfield, I think we're pretty solid.
It's a weird offense.
It's such a weird, even with the names and the players that are playing, it doesn't seem like it should work, but it does.
Like outside of Nacho, like there's not a lot of pace in this offense.
And that's what one thing I miss with Frankie is Frankie used to bring that pace too.
That's where we expected the pace.
And if you get Nacho on one side and Frankie on the other side, it just seems like we're just gonna outrun every single team.
but it's never the case.
Yeah.
It hasn't been the case anyway.
You get
And then the offense actually started-
Madron dribbling the ball from half field to the goal and putting it in goal from the middle of the field. You got Alceda, Frankie on the wings, and you got Madron right there in the middle dribbling past everybody like he showed us today.
And mostly everything, Tyler's going through the left side of the field. Most of the Fire's offense is kind of funneling from the middle left and up.
One of the it needs a cam. Okay. Franco has never been fast. I'm sorry that is such a talking point myth. You think?
People have said that.
I have heard that. I will not lie. I have heard that. That is. But back to my point.
But Tyrus debates that. He says no, Frankowski is fast.
Back to my point with the wings and playing the ball out on the wing is I was one of the biggest critics for saying we need to stop trying to make every goal from a cross and we need to start taking shots. Shots from outside the box, shots from inside the box, obviously, or shots even from
some of those today.
deep. And we saw them today. They take them, they come close, and some of them even score.
Georgie could have scored if Beric wasn't kind of being weird. If you watch the goal, Beric is being a bit of a weirdo. He's like standing in front of the goal. He's
we saw today. We have people who could shoot the ball and put it in the back of the net. We've seen it from Madron in previous games. I think we really need to start harnessing that because I feel like sometimes we try to bank on our crosses way too much. We do have CJ. We do have Collier. Elliott. I'm not sold on him yet. I call him Bambi. I call him Bambi because I think he can never stay on his feet. But they are very, very tall players. That crosses and just putting the ball in the net with your head works out great because of their height. But we also have to harness those people who can take the shots with their feet.
Or create
those chances, correct.
Create offense for other people. Oh man, wait, there was one pass. Somebody, was it Madron's pass? I just remember some ridiculous pass that I remember like finally, someone hit the right pass and I locked it. And it went right, and I think it went to Nacho and led to some sort of play. I don't know if that led to a goal, but I remember just thinking, finally.
Slow Day said it was Ferber's in front of the goalkeeper on Georgie's disallowed goal. Gotcha. Yeah, I think
was-
when you were talking about Barish being weird, you were talking about he was about to take that pass from Georgie standing next to him, and then he kind of just stood still for a second and allowed the ball to roll to Georgie for the one-time shot, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember that too. No, I thought it was her. I thought it was Barrage that was blocking the goalkeeper on Georgie's goal.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something totally different.
But I know what you're talking about. I do know the instance you're talking about, though. Actually, when Barrett thought he was offside,
Yeah.
and he lets Georgie take the ball. But hey, dude, they were creating. They were making
So
stuff happen.
the only thing we haven't talked about so far that I have on my notes for the game of what I've seen in the game was the VAR for CJ. CJ missed the first PK and then VAR.
Yeah.
VAR has been the biggest upset for the Chicago Fire in the past 2 games, and then it finally is on our side, and we score a goal from it.
I knew it was coming. I knew. You and I were talking on the horn at the time, not on the show yet, and I'm like, oh, here comes the VAR.
Yeah. It's just everybody's the biggest critic to VAR until VAR is on our side, and this time it was on our side.
Honestly, they might have even gave that might have been one of those 1 in 10 ones that they could have easily looked the other way and said, oh, there's nothing there. But I feel like they were finally throwing a bone.
Big props to CJ for finishing.
Because it was just enough. It was just enough, and the spirit of the law was broken that they're like, yeah.
Big props to CJ for finishing that goal. I mean, that's one of the biggest things to me is once you miss a PK and then you have to take another one, I feel like it's just a mind game between you and the keeper of where to go. Where to go.
The goalie has the advantage.
Yeah.
In that instance, way more on a second PK shot. Absolutely. The stats usually will skyrocket towards goalkeeper because the chances of the player missing just increase that much more.
It's just that mind games. The stress, the mind games of where to go. It's just panic at that point.
Absolutely. When I as a goalkeeper, when they miss, yeah, I feel better about the second. I don't know. It's like
it's just
so rare that it's
big props to CJ for keeping his mind, keeping calm, cool, and collected, and finishing
goes
that
the other
goal.
way.
Yeah,
pots it. And congrats to CJ on the new baby. On the new baby. Welcome to the family.
Yes, congrats to him.
That's awesome.
Great way to welcome with a goal.
Let's go.
It's been a while too for CJ. It's been a while.
That would be awesome. And what's my last comment here? I don't have anything. I think we've been nailing it. We're impressed by what we saw. What was that? To recap, what was that, and what have we seen the past few? Where was that? We saw flashes of that stuff before. Finally, we saw the firecrackers going off. Finally, we saw the fireworks get lit.
Yes. So it's
after a couple of punks got blown out.
It's been about an hour and 15 minutes, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking with me. I appreciate it a lot. I'm so happy we won this game. We finally showed what we could do.
Dude, win or lose, I was like, yeah, we'll see about win or lose. I was gonna watch the game and try and come on the show, but because I mean it's always fun talking Chicago Fire, no matter what.
Always.
It's way more fun.
I will. Anything else you'd like to say? Link your Twitter, link your YouTube, anything to anybody new?
Check us out on Spitting Fire YT. Check out Tyler. Always Tyler puts links in the description and all that jazz. You know the jazz. Check us out. We do over at Spitting Fire YT. We have Tyler on the show too. We do podcasts and we do kind of like a little news podcast and news podcast fan banter roundup where we'll do quick hits and give you quick updates about what's going on with Chicago Fire every couple days. And we're all on all the various podcast apps. Spotify, that's the only one I know. iTunes, Google Play, all of them. We're all on the big ones. But check us out, Spitting Fire YT on Google, or I'm sorry, Spitting Fire YT on YouTube. Thanks, Tom.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on once again. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I appreciate everybody for coming out, especially you, Slow Days. You're the man.